Hi everyone, this is Flako from Napa Private Tours, and this is my mini show, actually cooking with Flako. So I hope you enjoy. I'm gonna show you something very basic, and it's very so much of my culture. For anyone who is actually has some background in the Mexican heritage, you will know that there is an essential part of us to go ahead and have salsa. Salsa is crucial for us. And I'm gonna show you a very simple way to do it and something that will go with any kind of meat, whether it's pork, chicken, or beef. But your basic is actually just going to go ahead and be the ingredients. And we're gonna be doing this salsa with tomatoes. I'm gonna use 3 tomatoes in this case. And also you're gonna be using some serrano peppers and some garlic cloves. That will be the best basic ones for it. If anyone likes it a little spicy like us, and we do love it, then you want to use some habanero chili as well. Now, how do you measure your chilies? Even if you don't take away the habanero, is the way that you do it is that for every tomato that you have, if you're gonna go mild, you wanna use 1 chili. If you're gonna go hot, you're gonna go 2 chilies per tomato. And if you're gonna go extra hot, you're gonna go with 3 chilies. Now, if you really are that fanatic of spice, then I want you to go ahead and add 1 of these whole habanero chilies, and we'll get that nice kick into it. Now, for the cloves, you're gonna use only 3 of these garlic cloves. This is actually one of the way that I measure it is if it fits in my hand, is what the right amount of doing it. If you do any extra, it's for those people, garlic lovers, like we do. We can sometimes they do 4 or 5, depends on the size of it. Now, we're gonna go ahead and get started, and the way you're gonna do it, you're gonna need some aluminum foil. And I will be talking a little bit about this specific spice later on down in a minute. But the way you do, you're gonna get a slice of aluminum foil, and you're gonna grab each individual one of these items of tomato, and then wrap it up very tightly. And then you're gonna go ahead and start getting this on, and get this inside. Now on the bottom, I suggest you, because it's gonna do 3 things. It's gonna sort of grill itself because it's gonna little layer burn into it, which is essential for the flavor. The second thing is that you're gonna also go ahead and it's gonna cook on its own juice. And it's gonna be steam inside. So it actually creates this little cooking steam without any water added, and already has the vegetable itself. Now on the bottom of it, I want you to go ahead and one of those aluminums, try to make it as round as possible, and place in the bottom of the pan. And the way you're gonna do that is because once it starts burning up a little bit on the side, start squeezing some juice out of that, you're gonna see some black thing coming out of that. I don't want you to ruin your pan. Now, because of the time difference, also on the chilies, you're gonna go ahead and wrap it up by 3, 6 or so, and wrap them up all nice and tight with the aluminum, and then put them inside and rotate them so it gets a nice even burn into it. Same thing is gonna happen with this. Just make sure that when you do the chilies, you remove this part from the top and get rid of it. It actually pops out. Now for the serrano, it's the same thing. A little twist and it's gone. Now, for the garlic cloves, when you grab them, make sure you just peel them off completely so they don't leave the hard skin on the outside. Now, once you get this done and it's already, you're gonna leave it for about I would say 15 to 20 minutes. Then you're gonna grab in certain order, which is essential the way you're gonna do it. What I wanna do is that you're gonna add these. I have this spice been using it because it was a recipe that my aunt provided over for me long time ago, and it's a corn nor Suiza. What happened with corn is that nor Suiza is that it has this added little kick of flavor of chicken into it, and I like that on my salsa. So what you're gonna do in this molcajete, this is what we call a molcajete, and the molcajete is very important for us. You can do it on the blender as well, but what I do with the molcajete is because it somehow gets a texture that it's uneven, so it has the texture on the salsa. So you're gonna add this up on this, and then you're gonna grab the garlic, because the garlic is also important for that. We have it a little nice and wrap up together, as you can see. And then once you get this up, notice how nice and cooked it is all on its own. And you grab it inside And then what you're gonna do with this is that you're gonna smash it all, just as I'm doing it right now. And then go in circles all around until it's, because once it's already cooked and burnt, you actually happen to see that it will create this paste that's very nice and thick and then even. Once you have it all nice and smashed in there, it will look a really nice golden color, brown color into it, and that's important. Now, the order of this is really crucial because of the textures that each individual ingredient has. Now, the next thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and add your serrano chiles. Notice how nice and even color they have, and it's also cooked. You're gonna go all inside. And I have another few extras here, obviously, because you know I like it spicy. And I'm sure you do too. What takes the longest usually is the cooking side of it. Once you have everything on here and you start cooking it, you will find out that you actually have, and to go ahead and just make it easy. Once you start smashing it, it goes very simple. It's a little bit of effort, but you're actually burning some calories as you're making your salsa. And this is actually really good because, like I mentioned, once you know how to make a really good salsa, you can utilize and just add it to any kind of meat. And since it's already seasoned, you don't even need to add too much salt. Now, this is basically substitute my salt. I would just add up that much because it's less salty. I would say if you do, it's like maybe 3 times less than the salt will do. So that's why I add a little bit of salt powder in there. It's like maybe like about a teaspoon of it, maybe even less. It depends on how much you like it. Now, well, so you guys can see how this texture looks. Look at how nice and even that looks in there. And that has the garlic already and the serrano pepper. But we're gonna not finish yet. There's something more. We have another chili. This is because I do love it, and actually to have a very nice kick on the spice. For those who do know, the habanero is really well known in certain regions of Mexico. I wasn't really too much knowing about that until I actually got married. My husband's from Michoacan. As you know, Javi loves this habanero, and I tried to go ahead and add it to now mostly all of my salsas because it's very crucial. But if you notice, it has also color to it. In addition to that, it's beautiful, no? You see that? It's amazing. And now, once you keep it on it, you're gonna go ahead and just mash it all together. Go in circles. If you're mad, you can just go ahead and think about the person you wanna go ahead and hit, and you get more energy with that. Now, once it's all done with that, then you go to the tomatoes, and that's the last stage of it. Now, with these tomatoes, remember I added 3 tomatoes to this scenario. Now, 1, 2, and then there's 1 more. Perfect. You know, they come up actually pretty awesome. Look at the color. Now, the way you know they're ready, like I said, within 15-20 minutes, because when you squeeze this up, it's supposed to be very soft. Now, I want you to do it one at a time. It's important because it's gonna smash really evenly, but I want you to know if you need to go ahead and just be hard on certain parts of the tomato that hasn't been cooked really all the way through. And once you start adding this tomato by tomato, you're adding not only color, but it's a little more soft texture and juice to it because it has the most juice out of it. And they go actually really simple. They keep adding up more. Give more another one. We're almost done with our salsa. On my next cooking show that I'm gonna go ahead and do, my second part, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how this basic salsa will go with the steak or chicken or pork that you're going to be doing. So you know the step-by-step. For those who do know me, well, they'll understand that I'm not really a cooking person. I actually started learning to cook, and I was surrounded, thankfully, by people who know how to cook on my childhood and all the time that I was growing up. So I didn't really need to have the need to go ahead and learn how. But then I married to someone who actually happened to know how to cook really well. But in my case, for me, anyone who knows me, I cook by survival. So it's because of those flavors from my childhood and what people show me, and I was so passionate about it that I wanted to bring them back now to myself. So I started learning from those people that had been having recipes for generations. This is basically my Flako salsa. And you look at the color on that, and if you taste it, it's gonna be as delicious as it looks. This time, I'm gonna go ahead and just finish up by saying thank you for allowing me to get into your home and during these crucial times, and I want you to go ahead and continue watching me on the next show so that you can have more time to learn about this cooking with Flako. Thank you.